The speaker reflects on job struggles after the 2008 crash, comparing their experience to Gen Z today. They criticize government manipulation of unemployment stats, especially the shift from U3 to U6, which hides real joblessness by excluding discouraged workers. They argue that many young people want to work, but can't due to automation, outsourcing, and a shrinking job market. This, they claim, makes shaming jobless youth unfair and immoral. They propose that we're nearing or already at a tipping point where universal basic income, UBI, is essential. The root cause of long-term job loss, they argue, isn't migration or women in the workforce, but technology, especially the internet, which has displaced more jobs than it created. The speaker urges a serious discussion about redefining work in a post-industrial tech-driven world. Oh, brilliant logic. Gen Z can't get jobs, so obviously the next step is don't work at all. Genius. Why stop there? Can't find a mansion. Don't live anywhere. Can't date supermodels. Celibacy for life. Can't win the lottery. Burn your wallet. Of course, it's not like generations before had to hustle through recessions, wars, or heaven forbid, jobs they didn't like. But no, Gen Z is so uniquely oppressed by the burden of Indeed.com and LinkedIn ghosting them that clearly society should just fold itself into a hammock and fund their vibes via universal basic TikTok. And let's not forget, just because the job market is trash for some, that obviously means everyone should abandon all attempts at employment. Perfect. That'll fix the economy. Maybe the garbage will take itself out too. No need to build skills, create value, or adapt, because apparently trying is passé and self-pity is the new productivity. Bravo. Let's all just give up. After all, the robots are coming, right? Might as well start practicing our welcome overlords bows. But hey, if we're handing out UBI for doing nothing, I'll take mine in gold bars and sarcasm. Thanks. Tell you what. Rather than just roasting the creator, which, let's be honest, is like dunking on a toddler in a Nerf war, I'll even scroll through the comments to see if there's any semblance of intelligence floating around. Maybe, just maybe, someone down there accidentally made a point. Ah yes, at Lone Wolf Nergiganus 4000, clearly a name destined for economic policy brilliance. Look, you're not wrong that ghosting is a plague on job seekers, and it is a problem. But if your entire career plan is derailed by an unanswered email, maybe the issue isn't just the employers. Resilience isn't just for boomers with war flashbacks, it's for anyone trying to function in the adult world. So yes, employers can suck. But sitting in the ashes of unread applications and declaring that work is a scam isn't exactly a revolutionary act. It's just a sulky TED Talk waiting to happen. At Nimrod92, wow, 2,000 applications for $17 an hour. That's not a job hunt. That's a full-blown RPG side quest with zero loot and terrible XP. But sure, let's let that sink in. Right alongside the fact that if it takes you 2,000 tries to get hired, maybe it's not just capitalism that needs a reboot. Maybe the resume isn't the only thing that needs updating. Persistence is admirable. But using it to argue no one should work because you had a rough time? That's like failing your driving test and demanding we ban all cars. At Leroy Pawkins, a name that screams nuance and economic literacy. Yes, boomers do love tossing around communist and socialist like confetti at a Cold War-themed birthday party. But let's be real, if your entire political stance is just I want money and I don't want to work, maybe the backlash isn't ideological. It's just common sense ringing the alarm. Wanting UBI and fair wages isn't inherently wrong, but treating both like items on a fast food menu, yeah, I'll take the money without the labor, hold the responsibility, makes it hard to take seriously. Economic justice isn't a meme. Try again, Leroy. Preferably without crash landing into Marxism light. At Philogamerfar. Ah yes, the classic, boomers bad because social security take, served fresh with a side of zero nuance and a gallon of projection. Tell you what, if your masterstroke of critique is that retired people are getting paid after working for 40+ years and paying into a system, maybe you've confused hypocrisy with just how retirement works. Spoiler, Social Security isn't socialism, it's a receipt. But hey, instead of just roasting the creator, I'll even dig through the comments for some semblance of intelligence. So far, we're batting 0. So let me get this straight. The thesis here is, Gen Z can't get jobs, therefore work is obsolete, and UBI is the morally enlightened future. Meanwhile, in the comments, we've got folks flexing 2,000 job applications like it's a new CrossFit PR, others equating Social Security with socialism. Spoiler, it's literally a government-managed insurance program you pay into, and a general consensus that effort is oppression. Here's a fun fact. Difficulty does not equal impossibility. Job markets have always had friction, but blaming the entire economy for your lack of callbacks while romanticizing a paycheck for doing nothing? That's not revolution. That's just rebranding learned helplessness as political insight. So sure, let's dismantle work, math, and basic logic all at once. And when the robots inevitably replace us, we'll sit on the ruins of society, proudly holding signs that say, "Told you I didn't want to work anyway."